Hey everyone, my name's Chris, and on this channel we talk Kanye West, and specifically right now we're talking this tweet that Kanye tweeted out and then deleted within minutes. But it was the announcement of his new album Donda, coming July 24th with 2020 Vision hashtag included. And this is huge news. I mean, we've known that a new album was coming, but we thought it was one called God's Country, which now no longer seems to be the case. And two, we had no idea what the release date would be. Granted, it's Kanye giving us the release date, so we have no idea if we should actually expect this album July 24th or the 25th, 26th, August, September, October, 2021, 2022. We gotta keep ourselves on our toes and don't really buy into July 24th, but at least he's announcing the album and giving us at least a date in mind. And it does seem that this has been a project he's been working on for a while, and is even including some songs that fans had thought had really been buried in the vault and may never arrive again, like Hurricane, which you can see at the bottom of the list, which has a lot of people pretty excited, especially those Yandi fans that have been wanting CD quality 80 Degrees / Hurricane this entire time. So let's go down this list. We have Donda up top, which seems to be the title track, and that's something that we heard the other day when Kanye tweeted out the video of his mother, Donda West, reciting the KRS-One song, Sound of the Police. And then at the end, he teased us with about, 45 seconds to a minute of what Donda sounded like. And it had a very college dropout, late registration vibe to it, which got fans pretty excited. And then we have, following that up, also just, by the way, this is the longest track list that we've seen from Kanye since 2016 with The Life of Pablo. And even with The Life of Pablo, the initial track list when it was Swish, Waves, So Help Me God, right, were just 10 tracks about there. And over the iterations, when it finally became The Life of Pablo, it blew up to the 19 tracks before St. Pablo got added on, bumping it up to 20. Prior to that, we had Yeezus, which was only 10 songs, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which was 13, 808s and Heartbreak, which was a bit more minimal than My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and then Graduation, Late Registration, and College Dropout, which all were a bit beefier. But over the last few years, we've had Yay, Kids See Ghosts, Jesus is King, like these very short 20-minute albums, 25 minutes. So the fact that we're finally back to a full-blown album that has 20 songs, which maybe not all of these will make the cuts, which can happen. We know that with Kanye albums, you don't know if they're going to come out, and you especially don't know if the track list is going to remain the same. I mean, this could change within the next 5 minutes. He could tweet something else out that's just half of these scratched off. But returning to the list, we see 24, which, I mean, the obvious thing that we would imagine is this a connection to 2024 and running for president then, or it could just be Hours of the Day, something like that. I Feel Terrific, which I hope is a sequel to I Thought About Killing You. Future Bounce, which, okay, Future Bounce I'm down for. Keep My Spirit Alive. We also have these asterisks at some of the songs, which I don't know if that means they're main songs or that there's something special about them if those have features and the other ones don't. So Donda has a feature. You remember when we heard the snippet for Donda, people speculated that there was Kendrick Lamar saying at the end of the song, or that maybe it was Consequence or someone else. So that could be an indication that there's a feature. But Keep My Spirit Alive, Lord, I Need You. So we definitely have the religious vibes, right? Off the Grid, which feels like Closed on Sunday, right? Skirt or Skmr. It has to be a U, right? Skr makes more sense. I feel like that's something we've heard Kanye say before. And on Wyoming, he has some vehicles, those tanks, like the Raptor trucks. So he's probably making skirt sounds all the time. In God's Country and God's Country, which is interesting because I don't know if that's, you see God's Country is indented under that. Does that mean that he's looking at two separate titles? In God's Country or God's Country. So instead of it being 20 songs on here, it's really 19 with an alternate name there? Or is it something like Father Stretch My Hands Part 1 and Part 2, where you have In God's Country and then God's Country as kind of Part 1 and Part 2? I would like to know. I would like to know immediately. Welcome to my... Wait, July 24th. It's July 18th. I was thinking this shit's like weeks away. We're talking within the week. Oh my goodness. Welcome to My Life, which... Okay, I want to know more about your life, Kanye. Tell me. Up From the Ashes. This is one that was originally going to be on Jesus is King and was on the track list that he initially tweeted out and then got scrapped. People had heard versions of it. So that also may lead us to think that this could be in some ways an incorporation of not just God's Country, but potentially Jesus is King 2 that Dr. Dre was working on. Maybe it just became like a dovetail of both of those projects, because we still don't know what the Dr. Dre Jesus King project is. Kanye said it was a remix. And at that point, you would expect just to hear the Jesus is King 11 songs redone by Dre. But we also had heard that LA Monster was still being worked on, Up From the Ashes, and I think one other from the original Jesus is King track list that didn't make the final cuts. So people had started to speculate there was going to be kind of a redux of Jesus is King, including some of these cut songs, and maybe those fleshing out the track list kind of like a deluxe edition, or even that they were going to be on this sequel along with some new content. So with having something like Up From the Ashes making it onto Donda, it does make you wonder if this project is so big because it's incorporating what God's Country was and what Dre was working on. Tell the Vision. Wash Us in the Blood, which Wash Us in the Blood we have definitely heard, but that also, you may have already picked up on this or been screaming it when I said it. I talked about the asterisks referring to features. Wash Us in the Blood has the Travis Scott feature, right? So no asterisk there. That would probably mean that the asterisk isn't for features. Okay. Same thing with New Body. You know, at one point it had Nicki on it. We could imagine it probably still has Nicki on it, in which case there would be an asterisk if that's what that was for. Everything, which it's not gonna that's not gonna be the Everything that was on Nasir, right? Could you imagine Kanye's just like, hey Nas, that's my song now. Like, I sang on it and we put it on your album, but I want it on my album. He just raps everything Nas said. It did have an anti-vax line. Then we have New Body, which again, original Yandi soundtrack. Hold the Love, I believe that says. Praise God. Life of the Party, which Praying is an updated LA Monster or something, which would be great. Like, that's the thing that I think I'm most disappointed by the track list is LA Monster is nowhere to be seen. So I either hope it gets added or that Jesus is King 2 is something that's happening and LA Monster is on that, because I definitely fuck with LA Monster. And then we have Hurricane as the final song, originally known as 80 Degrees, was another one of the Yandi projects. And here we're having it make a comeback. It's triumphant return, and it's closing out the album, at least this version of the album. Again, all things could change, but seeing Hurricane on there probably has a lot of people very excited. And yeah, we have 6 days until this could be a reality. So we'll see, which is pretty exciting. And then also, Kanye had been showing off this font earlier in the day. He was kind of scribbling the alphabets in the future font, the FTR font. So for him to put together this track list in the font, it's kind of a nice buildup, because you see him tweeting out throughout the day, like, just the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, and then Roman numerals. And you're like, cool, Kanye's working on stuff. And for that to then culminate in this album announcements, and then he deleted it. So he may have deleted it to fix some of the spelling errors, as people had pointed out, like Hurricane's misspelled and Future's missing an E at the end. So maybe you wanted to just have more correctness on those things. But maybe he's just teasing us, or maybe he wasn't ready to announce it. I don't know. We'll see. But it's exciting nonetheless that we could have new music here and an actual full album rather than just the, I don't know, tapas small plates that we've been getting with Yay, Kids See Ghosts and Jesus is King. I know I'm definitely ready for the full hour-long experience. Though I say that and just watch. These are all like 1 minute songs. I'd be so pissed. But hopefully that's not the case. Kanye, watching you. But let's look forward to this. And of course, as we have more details, I'll be back to talk about it. And we'll be doing full podcasts and full line-by-line song analyses on our podcast for all of these songs. Another Watching the Throne season. So you can look forward to that on YouTube or just on Apple, Spotify, anything else. And if you want to support us, we have a Patreon, www.patreon.com/Kanye Podcast. All of the line-by-line analysis that we're known for through Kanye's entire discography up to this point, except for Watching the Throne and Cruel Summer, is available on there. We're talking over 100 songs, like 200 hours of content of just us explaining the entirety of Kanye's discography. So if you want to support us, we'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, you can just like, subscribe, comment on these videos, and that goes a long way too. Until next time, stay wavy, keep it loopy, and let's look forward to Donda. Cheers.